reminded of Philippians 1:3-6, which says, I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it onto completion until the day of Christ Jesus. We'll carry it onto completion. It's a process. My time at Mars Hill Graduate School has been a time of working towards completion, engaging that process, where I've begun the practice of learning where the soft and unyielding areas of my story exist, to garner strength with others to plow into it, and to plow with others in hopes of new growth. This poem is entitled Plowshare. You'd think you'd have figured out by now how to unravel the knots of life as it sits uneasily in your stomach or throat, that the moments that paralyze you into cloistered patterns of interaction would have faded away by now. You know those ruts you've been stuck into forever? As though a large field of hardened soil lies before you, and you feel only enough strength to plow into the land that is soft and familiar. You think that by now, the intimate moments that you long for don't scare you when the opportunity presents itself, so that when you pray with eyes open, you can look deeply into the eyes of the one you are praying with, intimate and without shame, and in that deep gaze, and know that God is there, in that minute and profound moment, just as much as when you gaze deeply into the eyes of your lover while making love, feeling fully known, accepted, and loved. You are not repelled by fear. But how often does that happen? Oh, love that will not let me go. And of course, gazing deeply into the eyes of anyone is unsettling. That lump in your throat returns. You think you'd have gotten used to social interactions, that by now you'd be fluent in the language of communal contact. And all it takes is the push of the autopilot button, and you are cruising at interviews, dates, parties, on the dance floor, riding the bus, family gatherings, and those awkward moments in the elevator. Don't get me wrong. I think we've learned to navigate these moments to some degree. Sometimes it looks like the three wise monkeys. Non vedo, non sento, non parlo. I see nothing, I hear nothing, I say nothing. But to fly face first, uninhibited by doubts of who we are, into the face of the other and operate from a complete sense of security and a sense of complete security, fully delighting and being delighted in, well, I think that's the hard part. The unyielding, dry, and cracked soil. But will it ever be easy, oh love that will not let me go? Who can guarantee that the look I give to another across from me, like that Valentine, clumsily put together with Elmer's glue oozing out of its sides like my uneasy affection and set out in first grade, will be returned to me with grace? That my voice, as awkward, shrill, unconfident, overconfident, compensating, and true, will be received, heard, and reciprocated, so that when I risk touching and being touched, the surface of my skin will feel the warmth of safety as much as intimacy, or that when I timidly step forward onto untried territory, that I will not be shamed, but seen and rejoiced over. What promises do I have in this world aside from my hard-scarred experiences of having been dropped as a baby and son, as a kindergartner, junior high schooler, collegiate, as a pimply teenager who awkwardly navigates attraction for the first time, as a clumsy lover, as a worker that is trying to find that ever-elusive niche, as a boy and man, as a Chinese American, as an American, as a believer and doubter, as a married man and divorcee, as a learner who forgets healer and herder, as a baby. I have been dropped so many times. What promises do I have that the unplowed soil will be soft and yielding? It looks so hard. Oh, love that will not let me go. And like the tortoise returning to its scarred and battle-worn shell, I can be found present, but not. Or like the furious bear, my violent attacks are truly my fears in bold colors splashed across the canvas of our interactions. The unspoken promises set themselves deeply into my bones, and I walk the path supported with limbs saturated by feared and failed expectations. They weigh heavily over me like wet clothes over a frail self. Exercise, this paralyzing force that drives me into these ruts that I have plowed forever, been stuck in ruts that I have plowed forever. Especially when I know there are new acres to set upon and a harvest yet to be reaped. Oh, love that will not let me go. It is so easy to till the familiar and soft soil time and again. It is difficult to break up the soil that has been hardened by the dryness and fear of life. So as the seasons come and go, and the knots resurface in the stomach and throat, and it is time to either retreat into the shell or wrathfully rage, oh love that will not let me go, I set my hands on the plow.